Here's the brisket. First attempt. Hadn't done a brisket. So I'm doing this brisket today for my mom. So we're gonna see how this turns out. This is how it looked before we hit the grill. Back in a minute. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Outback with Chaz. Today, you guys, we're gonna be doing a brisket. My first time doing a brisket. I'm gonna be doing that for my mom on today. But first and foremost, I wanna thank God for waking me, blessing me, and keeping me in my right mind. Even though I'm in pain on today, I thank God for blessing me to be able to do what I'm doing. So with that being said, you guys, we got the grill smoking, as you can see in the back. I'm gonna be kind of offset cooking this brisket. So we're gonna go ahead and get the meat, and I'll be back in a minute and we get this fun time smoke started, guys. All right, back in a minute. All right, guys, I'm back, and I'm gonna turn around and let you guys see this brisket. It's a pretty good sized brisket, but I'm gonna let you guys look at it for yourself. Tell me what you think. We're gonna go ahead and get this fun time smoke started, guys. So let me flip this camera around, and I'll show you guys what we're working with. Back in a minute. So here we go. Pretty good sized brisket. I forgot to look at how many pounds this was, you guys, so sorry about that, but as you can see, I got it covered in my own seasoning, so we're gonna see how this turns out. So with that being said, you can see I got the coals off to the side. Got me a little pan underneath the brisket. And you have to excuse the noise. Like I said, this is a high traffic street right here, so it's gonna be a little noisy. But we're not gonna be opening this up too much today. We're just gonna let it cook. So with that being said, guys, back in a minute. All right, guys, I'm back. The brisket has been on now for about an hour, so we're gonna check it and see how it's cooking so far. Looks pretty good, guys. Just been on an hour. It seems to be cooking really good, so let this go ahead and do what it's supposed to do, and let it just go ahead and continue to cook. And we'll be back in about 2 hours, and we'll check on it again. All right, guys, back in a minute. All right, everybody, I'm back, and the brisket has been on now for 4 hours, so we're gonna check it and see how it's cooking. So we're gonna let some of the smoke clear. I had to add some more coals to it to keep that heat up. But this is how it's looking after 4 hours. Try to give you all angles of it. Nice and tender. Nice and tender. Got the juice in it. So that's how this is looking so far. Be back in a minute. Alright, guys, I'm back. And we're getting ready to wrap this brisket. It's been on now for 5 hours, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it and put it back on the grill and let it continue to cook. But I'm gonna let you see how it's looking so far. Looking good, guys. Looking real good. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap him up, put him back on the grill, and let him continue to cook. Back in a minute, guys. All right, guys, I'm back. And I know we haven't had that smoke talk today, so we're gonna get back to that. Right now, I'm gonna show you guys. I got the brisket wrapped up and placed back on the grill, and we're gonna show you that, and then we're gonna get back to this fun time smoke. So that's how it's looking on the grill, wrapped up. As you can see, I still got the coals off to the side. They got a little glow to them. So with that being said, guys, we'll be back in a minute. We're gonna let this cook for another 2.5 hours, and we'll come back and check it. And then we'll wrap it back up and let it continue to cook. And then right about the 10-hour mark, I'm gonna open it up and just kind of let it sit on the grill like that. All right, guys, back in a minute. All right, guys, we're back. We're gonna check on the meat again and see how it's doing before we unwrap it. It has actually been 8 hours now that we've had the meat on the grill. So we're gonna turn the camera around and see how it's looking. So I'm gonna get ready and try to unwrap it here, and we're gonna see what we got in here. Woo! Look at that smoke. Well, we know we got a lot of juice in there. A lot of juice in there. Hey, it looks good. Wow. So I'm gonna get ready and unwrap it. And I'm gonna just set it on the grill and let it kind of dry out a little bit. And I'm probably gonna cut it and see what it's looking like. All right, guys, back in a minute. All right, guys, I'm back. And as you can see, I cut the brisket in half. I'm gonna let it cook that way. There's a lot of fat in the middle of it that I don't really care for. But as you can see, there's a lot of fat in there. I hate all that fat. But as you can see, the brisket looks good, guys. It looks good. My first ever brisket. So I'm just letting it sit out here, trying to let it dry out a little bit. But that's about it. So the camera's moving a little bit. I'm just trying to get a good angle of the meat. But other than that, everything looks good. All right, guys, back in a minute. All right, everybody, I'm back. And as you can see, I got the pan sitting up here, getting ready to take the brisket off. I already took a slice out of one of them. Out of this one right here, I took a slice out of it. So I'm gonna take this in the house and let it sit for a little bit, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the cutting board and cut it up. So I'll get back with you guys in just a minute. So back in a minute, guys. All right, everybody, we're back, and this is gonna close out the video. This is how I cut the brisket up. So you guys can see that. I didn't really get the thin slices, I just cut it. That's my first brisket, so I'm satisfied with it. I got my little bag to go. So with that being said, if you guys like this video, hit the like button, that share button, and the subscribe button. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram with Outback with Chaz. Make sure you turn on all post notifications, hit that bell. Share this video, share every video, comment, and I will get back with you. So with that being said, you guys, thanks for watching.